They are, my motion is that a signature, my signature, which is binding, is only going to approve this board order resolution if it is contingent upon an affirmative vote of the public. So I don't see how we can separate the two, because I'm not going to sign something that gives permission and then write a letter asking a city council that we have no control over, saying, please put this on the ballot because that's what we really wanted. That doesn't give me any assurance. So I'm making an assumption that there is, somewhere in statute, a process that's outlined for the creation of urban renewal districts. And if they're put to a vote, that it's defined somewhere in there, whether it's within our taxing district, whether it's in the proposed district, whether it's in the city. I don't know where it originates from, but my intention with my motion is to do whatever is necessary.
There is no statutory requirement that this vote happen.
Where they approved the plan, but with this caveat that it had to go to an affirmative vote of the citizens. And that is because there were 244 acres of land within the proposed plan area that were outside of the city. You've heard me say before, we are in the process of annexing much of that land. And that will be completed by the end of the calendar year. So by the time we get to the end of the calendar year, there would be approximately 54 acres of that land that would be outside of the city. You could wait until we get done with the annexations. We could go back and redo the plan, the financials and so forth, redo the legal description boundaries and so forth to exclude those islands or things that are on the perimeters. Because there would not be in the city at that point in time. Then it would not require the county to approve the plan. It would only leave all of the taxing districts to go through the confer process. But what that does, it also delays implementation of the plan by a year. Well, second leg would be, what was imposed, is that legal or not? Then the third is to go to an election in November, which we'll talk about later in the agenda.
Business community, bipartisan support for this work. And so I do want to just go on the record that it is perplexing to me that we are here having this conversation 6 years into work that has been just scoured over by our community development team. And so it feels, quite frankly, disrespectful.
Commissioner Berschauer took it upon herself to speak on behalf of TDF&R, implying that they wouldn't build a rural fire station in Yamhill County because of this, some of those other things. Commissioner Sterrett stated that was a compelling reason not to vote for this or vote for it with this caveat. Is there, since we now know that we've gotten a letter from TDF&R explicitly stating that those things are not true, is there an option to go back to the Board of Commissioners and ask them to reconsider this decision?
I did want to stress again that this is only for the area that is identified as the Urban Renewal District. This is not citywide. It is that area that we are focused on to try to develop, simply put, not to be too blunt, but economic development and jobs is the focus of this. That's the focus of this work.
About how this is focused on industrial living wage jobs. And that seems to not be being received as it really is a priority for the city of Newberg. I can't tell you what the law is surrounding having one jurisdiction tell another jurisdiction that you have to hold a vote. But that does not seem right. And my sense of the law oftentimes is if something doesn't seem right, it probably isn't right. If someone wants to refer it to the vote later on, that's their prerogative. But I don't think you should be spending your resources on a vote in November. Instead, I think we should cut the county out of the process of having a say in what I think is essentially city government.